Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Real Reds Talk, the authentic football fan channel made in Manchester. This is your Saturday news show. What's popping, people? Hope you're all having a lovely weekend so far. We're kicking things off with things to discuss like United style of play, Rasmus Hojlund first bid, Eric Bailly to leave, a little bit about Onana and something interactive towards the end. So make sure you stick around for that. We've got Shreyas and Sam alongside me. Do we have any plans for the weekend, lads?
Sleep.
Wow.
Sleep. Is that it?
Yeah.
Not even going to eat or drink, just sleep.
Yeah, sleep because I think I'll be awake till late night for that Arsenal game. So sleep is important.
Yes, very nice. I like it.
I am going to see Oppenheimer tonight, so that'll be fun. Can't wait. Christopher Nolan new movie, all about it. So.
Yeah, any drinks, any food alongside that?
Yeah, might go grab a burger, might grab a whiskey or something. That'd be good.
Yes, I like the sound of it. I am also going to do that as well. So, yeah, I'm going to enjoy that film. Let us know if anyone else in the chat is going to watch it. Very random, but yeah. We're going to kick things off. There's a couple of kind of quotes coming out from Erik ten Hag. He did like a 21-minute press conference yesterday, so there was a lot of stuff to break down into that. But one of the sticking points I thought personally was when he was commenting about the style of play. And I'll read you a direct quote and then I'll get your thoughts on it. So basically, Erik ten Hag said, we really looked into the history of Manchester United and we really looked also into the qualities of our players. And then you can say, so what do we want to be? That is, we want to be the best transition team in the world. We want to surprise. And considering the profile of players, Shreyas, we have, does it make sense to kind of go down this route with United?
I think it does, because I think if you look at our midfield, even if you look at our defense and actually our attack as well, you could see that we've got a lot of different profiles. Like you've got a player like Casemiro there in the midfield, then you've got a player like Mason Mount who's very versatile in his approach. Bruno in his own approach is quite versatile as well. In the defense, you've got people like Rafael Varane and Lisandro Martinez who can absorb pressure, who can play very well out of the back as well. And when it just comes to being a sponge and just absorbing the attacks of opposition team again and again and again, and just then releasing all of it in one pressure move. I think they're very, very good in that aspect as well. Even if you look at our fullbacks with Luke Shaw, you've got Diogo Dalot, you've got Aaron Wan-Bissaka, you've got Malacia. So we've got some very different profiles, and you can say that these players, they can work well not in just one system. They can work well in different systems as well. And I think a part of it is something that we saw last season as well, that Ten Hag used to make changes, within a game, mid-game. Suddenly you used to see that, we start working in a different approach. We start working under a different system. Sometimes the focal point was Bruno. Sometimes it became Rashford. Sometimes, we just used to completely shift our game altogether and let the midfield actually dictate the game when Casemiro, Eriksen and Bruno started playing at the start of the season. So I think it can actually work really well. It helps us becoming that unpredictable side that people actually cannot counter with. And I think that's why he wanted to get in a player like Mason Mount now. I think he's a key point. He's a key, I would say, piece to that puzzle, which he's trying to make in that midfield. And I think what he's trying to achieve with this team, I think with the kind of players that he's got and the kind of players he's targeting like right now, like Amrabat, like players like Rasmus Hojlund, I think that is the kind of team that he's trying to build. A team that is just not, it's not just pressing, it's not just counter pressing. It is something that can develop into any approach that he wants to, and he can actually, modify it game after game after game, whether you play a low block, whether you play a high block, whether you're playing with a high line or in different approaches. And I think that actually excites me a lot.
Well, we've got more and more people joining the chat, so I would love to hear your thoughts on this kind of style of play and what the future is for Manchester United. Whatever time, wherever you're watching in the world, whether it's morning, afternoon, etc., do let us know and get your comments in and leave a like on the video if you haven't already. Why do you think he hasn't chosen to kind of integrate this similar style to Ajax, Sam? Why do you think it's certain individuals or what?
I think it's the league. I think in Ajax, it's a slightly different league. I think the Premier League, he realised that those first two games he came in, he tried to implement that style, didn't he? and realised I ain't going to be able to do this. Not only because of the personnel I've got, but because of the style of the league. The Premier League's much more intense, much quicker. It's all about the press. It's all about pace and stuff like that. And I'm not saying the Dutch league isn't competitive or isn't as intense, but it is slightly slower, slightly less sort of intense. Like you see it all over Europe. I think the only league that sort of comes close is La Liga, and even there, it's a little bit still slower. But like Italian league, you see players who didn't work out in the Premier League or at United, and they go to the Italian league and look like absolute world beaters. Chris Smalling, for example, looks great at Roma, but United just didn't cut it. So it's different leagues, different countries, styles and stuff like that. But I think he realised after the first 2 games, all right, I need to get different people in here. But obviously he's not going to get everybody in. So he's got Lissandro, because he realised that centre-back partnership of Maguire and Lindelof ain't going to work. Like, it's just not going to work. So he had to get centre-back in. He got Lissandro in. He realised that midfield was severely lacking in quality. He wanted De Jong, couldn't get him, but then he went and got Casemiro, who's one of the best defensive midfielders of all time. Now he's realised, okay, I got through the season with De Gea, but I need to change that. That needs to be changed. Got rid of De Gea, and he's brought in Andre Onana. That midfield, again, he's like, I still need quality and depth. So Fred or McTominay is going to go, and he's brought in Mason Mount, and he's looking at Amrabat possibly as well. So he's building up that midfield. He's also recognised the striker thing, but we're in a difficult spot with the striker thing because Harry Kane is just out of reach price-wise. Like, we're just not going to be able to get him. I think if Ten Hag had the money, that would be the guy we'd go get. I have no doubts about that. So he's having to look a bit more carefully. Atalanta are dicking about with price and not like 85 million, 65 million, who knows, and he's not worth that price, so we're having to be careful there. But I believe James Ducker in the Telegraph said we've also made it clear to Atalanta that we're looking at other players, and like we've kept in contact with Kolo Muani, and so we're making it clear to Atalanta we're just not going to play the game. Like, if you're going to charge ridiculous prices, we're going to go elsewhere. So Ten Hag's doing smartly. So he's not going to fix everything in one window. He's not going to fix it in 2. He's going to need 3-4 windows before he gets his actual team on the thing. And we're looking good already, and he's not even halfway there. So I think, that's what it comes down to, really. Could we do a roll call for the chat as well for all the members? I can see there's a couple of these in there. I see Amy Rourke. I see Aaron Gregory. I see Gray in there as well. But where's Marky Mark? Where's Brandon? Where's Brian?
Yeah,
where's Shah
forgot
Sam?
to do the fucking...
Where are you?
Forgot to do the register, didn't we?
Put here in the chat if you're here and you're being quiet. Yeah. I'll see you all in there. But get it in.
And we are, like I said, we're going to talk about the style of play, Rasmus Hojlund, Eric Bailly, and we've got something interactive towards the end, so make sure you guys do stick around for that. It'll be a relatively quick show today, but you're absolutely right on what you say about the style of play, and I think the more individual players he's bringing in, you look at the window, his first window in the summer, the style of play, Lissandro changed that dramatically, Casemiro absolutely changed that, and then the players now, Onana, Mason Mount, are going to have a huge say on that, especially if we're bringing Rasmus as well. And he actually touched on that, and he's saying that's what we're looking for, characters. It's not only the player you bring in, but also a person. We demand high standards in every occasion, and you have to deliver, otherwise you are not in the right place. And when you look at the comparison as to players that Ten Hag brought in to the starters in Ollie's team, what's the difference for you, and who were the flaky ones for you who you couldn't trust in that Ollie side?
I think in that Ollie side, the biggest issue was that we were too pragmatic and we were too predictable. Because everyone actually knew how we were going to progress in a game, even if we go a goal down or a couple of goals down, how we are going to change, if we are going to change, or are we going to continue with the same 11 throughout the entire 90. I think in that Ollie side, Fred and McTominay were looking clearly as two midfielders who were just not cutting it. It was evident that we need a new CDM. It was evident that we need a creative midfielder alongside Bruno, because Bruno was under a hell lot of pressure under that Ollie side, because he was the only creative spark in that team. I think if you take out Rashford, even that right-hand side looked very, very vulnerable during Ollie. Sancho was not able to take his spot. And I think to a certain point, Martial being injured made that striker position actually a very, very, I would say, something that you cannot rely on, and that's why we needed to go on and sign Cavani. But everyone actually knew that max to max Cavani can give us 2 good seasons. After that, he needs to leave, or maybe he will retire, because he just came to that point in his age. He was an exceptional player in his prime, but we just got him a little too late. And his injury record was another big concern. And we had another injury-stricken player in Martial already at the club. So I think there were a lot of players in that early side that we knew were not going to be, carrying on into the next season. Maguire was one of them. Fred McTominay were there. After that one season, even Luke Shaw was becoming one of those players who I would have said that, maybe we need to ship him off. Maybe we need to get someone different in that left back position because Maguire and Luke Shaw they had formed a very, very horrific partnership at the back and they were conceding goals left and right. When Ten Hag came in, I think the best part about everything was that within 2 games he was able to actually spot out what differences need to be made. If he actually wants to take Man United to that top 4 spot, he made the decisions, however harsh it was, he made those decisions for the benefit of the club, whether it was benching Ronaldo, whether it was benching Harry Maguire as well, whether it was to actually place some trust in the players who were not performing to the standards to the standards that they could actually perform to. But players like Rashford look one of the best players in the world at the end of last season. You could say the same about Luke Shaw as one of the best players in the league. Victor Lindelof looked a much better player. Varane and Martinez formed, I would say, one of the best centre-back partnerships in the league. Casemiro came in, Eriksen came in on a free, and a lot of people expected him to be someone who would just warm the benches, but he became an integral part of the side too. He got in Anthony, actually put him in the first match itself when he was available against Arsenal. I think he had his ups and downs, but a relatively all right season for a winger who's just moved from the Eredivisie. So I think a lot of character, a lot of discipline, and that team element got built into the side after Ten Hag because under all it was more individualistic effort.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. To be honest, we're absolutely spot on. And to an extent, we have a foundation, Sam. We have a base. And on the base we've built up, we have to raise the bar because last season was okay, but it's still not matching the standards of Manchester United. We have to step it up. But what is the bar? Because when you're third and you win a trophy with Weghorst up top, what's the expectations for this season?
It depends on if we get striker or not, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If we don't get
Let's
striker,
say we do.
I think decent run in the Champions League, so quarters, push for a semi maybe. I think that would be good, and then get as close to second or be in the mix for maybe not a title race, but like an outsider shout. Like, I think it's going to be City's to win again, and it depends which team sort of comes in to challenge them. But if we could be in the mix all the way up until like the last couple of weeks of the season, then I think that's as I say. And if we can finish second, even better. And then maybe another trophy, an FA Cup, be nice.
Yeah,
something around those. Anything around those, I think, would be considered progression. I think if we see the style evolve, like he's saying that he wants to do, like the transition thing. Dave is in the chat and he sort of made a good point. Transitional football is not counter-attacking. Think more Brighton under De Zerbi. Generating transitions if and when a team presses us, like Anthony's goal against Arsenal. That's not like, it's a very different style.
He'll be doing it different to the way Ollie was doing it, basically. Yeah. He'll be doing it more based on like chances in possession and creating that for yourself.
Like we beat Liverpool and we beat Arsenal with counter-attack. That's how we did it. Like because we didn't have the personnel to do what he wanted to do, which is probably what he's going to do this year. And also, that video has been going around for ages about Pep talking about Onana, how difficult he makes it to press a team when a goalkeeper plays like that. And that's not what we've now got. We're already press resistant with the way Lissandro plays. Like he's very press resistant as it is, but now you've got a goalkeeper who can do that as well, which means everybody pushes up, which means the line's higher, which means we can get balls in behind, we can pass through and cut through a press, which we've not been able to do before. You've got an extra little person in midfield in Mason Mount who works hard, who can generate and get back and forth. He's a great passer of the ball, can score goals as well. So good on the half turn. Yeah, and if we get that striker who's capable of finishing, because I know Rashford had a great season last season, but he was a bit patchy. Like he had moments where he didn't play well in games at all, but he'd score that goal and you'd be all right.
Still misses a lot of chances, doesn't it?
But then there was other games where he was a ghost and did nothing, didn't even score, and you were kind of like, if he didn't score, we didn't score, and that was worrying. So if we could have a striker who can get 15, 20 goals, that helps us out tremendously. And then hopefully another midfield reinforcement. So when we are in games where we need a bit of fight and we need to sort of bully teams, what was the phrase Chivy used for Amrabat? Technical bully.
Yeah.
That's the kind of guy you can sort of, all right, we'll start with him and Casemiro. They can sort of shore up that midfield, which means makes the transition easier. So I think anything above third, a nice run in the Champions League and another trophy, I'm happy with that for next year. I don't expect us to be in a title race. I don't expect us to win the Champions League. If it happens, fucking amazing. But I think City are so strong. Madrid might be looking at going to get Mbappe now, which could be interesting. But that also means they might sell a Tuchemeni, they might sell a Camavinga, they might sell somebody like that. So maybe we look at that. Maybe United looks at that. Who knows? But yeah, it's interesting this season. I think it's City's to lose, but we'll see who comes in.
I felt like under Ole, it was more let them have the ball when they push on towards, then expose them, whereas Ten Hag's is going to be create the pattern to play, draw them into you, and then you'll exploit the gaps, whether that's through midfield, Mount, Bruno, or whatever. So I hope he can bring someone in like a Hojlund, because that just adds that extra dimension then of that pacing behind. Like, you don't just have to worry about the wingers. You've got him, who he seems to, when you watch him play, the way he hangs on to the centre half, like he'll hang on to him at awkward angles to make the runs in behind him. So yeah, having Rashford, Antonin, and Hojlund there is just a lot of problems to deal with for defenders. But again, a question to the chat: what is the bar for this season going into it? If we manage to get our signings, Eric Ten Hag's primary signings, bar Harry Kane, what do you think we'll do? Let's read out some comments and then we'll continue talking.
Let's have a look. All the usual people in the chat: Gray, Aaron Gregory, Lewis is in the chat, Amy Rourke, all the sort of regulars. Good to see you all, guys. Neil Driscoll as well in the chat.
Yeah.
Nice to believe that is from Gray, but I think to a degree we need to keep our feet on the ground. If all works out, fantastic plus for us all. Amy saying Mbappe equals fun, exciting footy. Yeah, but I don't think we're going near that. But we'll see. Aaron, we got slapped the first two games. He realised we haven't got players to implement his style. He adapted to what he had. Excited to see how he improves and builds the squad. Absolutely. Have any of us been watching the Women's World Cup? I've not seen anything. Nick?
No, I've not watched it yet. I am going to watch, make a point of it, to watch a couple of the games.
Gray saying Brian's wagging it. Yeah, absolutely. What the fuck is Brian?
Wagging. I ain't heard that word for ages.
Disgraceful. Amy Rourke's been up all night watching the World Cup. Yeah.
Nice.
Let's have a look. Why YouTube notification so crap? I literally put my phone on as you guys started. I know YouTube fucks us over. I don't know why. It's just like we go live and it just doesn't let people know. So. Yeah. Follow us on socials, because we'll always post on socials when we're going live. Yeah. So make sure you follow us on socials, and then YouTube won't let you down. That Madrid team won the Champions League 2 seasons ago. Were ridiculous in transition. I'd love to see us be that level. Absolutely, I love that. Near the end of the season, Eriksen was poor. But this season on the bench, if we get the players in Ten Hag wants. Yeah, I think Eriksen will be used in tactical games where he thinks he can exploit space, have more time on the ball, and get those passes in. I think when he's up against a team that's being pressed and harassed, he doesn't have the legs or the physicality, which is why he's brought Mount in. So I think he'll be used a bit more sparingly. Dave Lewis, progression would be more like if we had a blueprint for the goal we've seen a few times, that would be good. We impose ourselves more across better teams and finish comfortably in the top 4. Absolutely. And then Eric Ten Hag wanted Nunez initially, didn't he? Powerful runner, tall, good in the air. Hojlund is a similar kind of player to him. It makes even more sense. And then Gray, I don't have social, Sam. I think they're a bit toxic. Maybe it's my age. Fair enough, Gray.
Fair enough.
I understand how you feel. I don't like him either. And if I didn't work in marketing, I probably wouldn't have him. So, there you go.
Especially Twitter. Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, Twitter. Cesspit.
But yeah, let's discuss Rasmus Hojlund then, because that is the kind of hot topic at the moment. We've got Mountain, we've got Onana in there done, and they will be on the tour. And we'll see Onana tonight, which is very exciting. When do you think this Rasmus bid, Treyas, timeline-wise, where do you see it going in? Because apparently Alfredo Padula has been very, very good on Italian football and transfers. He's saying it's a bid to go in on Monday, a verbal bid or whatever it may be. So when do you expect this deal to be done? And do you even think it'll be done? Are you worried at all?
I think this deal, the way it is heading, I think it might be done because I heard that personal terms were agreed with the player. So it means that the player actually wants the move to happen. which creates that pressure over the club as well that they need to sell the player. The player isn't happy at our club and is more, looking likely and more keen to actually join this club. So I think this deal would happen. I think Manchester United are, they're just trying to structure the bid in such a way that it gets done pretty quickly because preseason has started. They would like to get Rasmus Hojlund in as soon as they can and don't want to get into a situation like Mason Mount where this thing keeps on dragging for weeks. I think they just want to try and get this sorted out within a matter of days. So I think with the price that is being quoted, they're structuring the deal with the add-ons in a way that Atlanta are happy actually letting go of the player as well. And I think maybe it is around that 50 or 55 million mark, including the add-ons. And hopefully, I don't think that it will be a kind of a deal which will get dragged for weeks. I think if we get him, we'll get him within a week. If we don't get him, I think we'll be moving on to other options.
Yeah, very interesting. Who them other options could potentially be as well, you don't know, but I'm sure United have a contingency plan in terms of who they want to go for. But in terms of just having Rashford, Martial, and Hojlund kind of dovetailing, Sam, are you confident going into the season with that?
I would love to have two strikers. I know we've been saying it for a while, and Jay Motti agrees with us. I think I would love to. The perfect option would be experienced striker like a Harry Kane and a Hojlund as backup. And then you've got Harry Kane for the next 2-3 years, win some trophies. He starts to decline. You've got Hojlund there ready to take the spot, and that's your striking position sorted out for the next, say, 10 years or so, which we haven't had since what? Rooney? Like, long-term striker?
What was that? How many goals? Did you say a certain amount of goals?
Just like a striker who plays for us more than like
a long-term option for us, right?
More than a couple of seasons. Like, you know what I mean? Like Lukaku was with us for what? 2 seasons?
2 seasons.
So. Yeah.
So like Rooney was the last long-term striker.
Ronaldo.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And Martial can't be relied upon, even though he's been here for 7 years. He just can't be relied upon.
7 years. Yeah.
I think, it'd be nice to have 2 strikers. As long as we get one, I think one is the bare minimum. If we don't get one, I think we struggle. We really do struggle because who's scoring these goals if Rashford's on a form where he's not scoring? That's worrying. So we need a 1 minimum. I'd love to get 2. I don't see us getting 2 unless the ownership situation dramatically changes in the next couple of weeks, which I don't think happens. So
and we bring in Mbappe.
Or we just go to Daniel Levy. Like, here's a check, whatever you want. We'll take Harry Kane. Like,
don't do that to Lever, Jesus.
I know, that's the only way you're going to get him at this rate. Like, you're not going to get him for less than 100+ million. Like, that's just how it's going to be. So, as long as we get one in, I think that will help. It'll help matters. You use Hojlund, and then you've got Martial, Rashford, who can play there. I think it's too early for Joe Hugel. It's too early for Charlie McNeil. It's too early for those lads yet. It'd be great to have like a young striker in the wings, wouldn't it? Like a number 9.
Oh yeah.
But we haven't got one, sadly.
Yeah.
It's if we can get one in, I think that helps us a lot. I would prefer to get 2 in personally, but I don't see it happening.
What do we think as a general kind of group? What do we think would be the expectation of Hojlund in his first year, figures wise?
Double digits.
Yeah, at least double digits. Yeah.
So are we talking
10 goals?
In the league specifically, or all competitions?
All competitions, I would say 12+. All competitions.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay. All competitions 12+, but within the league, I would say at least he gets double digits because I think I do know that he's going to be a developmental striker. It's going to be difficult for him to adapt, but for a change, we are actually playing like a team which generates a lot of chances for the striker. So I think the way Hojlund actually plays, if he can form that link up and partnership with Rashford, Bruno, and Anthony, I think he can get goals, and I think he'll hit double digits if he does come.
I was listening to a fan of Atalanta last night talking about how Hojlund kind of got his opportunities and stuff, because Muriel and Zapata, who they had very injury prone, and the start of the season, both of them got injured straight away within like the first and second game. So Hojlund and Adama Luckman, I think it was, got their opportunities, and that's how they kind of shunning that squad. I know they only got nine goals, I think it was, but young player just coming into the league, learning this trade, it's going to be very raw. You can't have the expectations of Manchester United are always going to be huge, but you can't expect him to score, 25 plus goals in his first season. Exactly. I just don't think that's realistic at all.
Yeah.
So I would probably agree with like the 12 to 15 range, hopefully, because even that is an improvement on their goals. Let's be completely honest. Anything.
Exactly.
The media is going to label him the next next Haaland.
Hojlund.
That's the angle they're going to take. And as soon as he doesn't score for like 2-3 games, they're just going to be what a flop. United will pay, blah blah blah, all the same like shite. But as United fans, we just got to realise this kid is talent, potential. He's not the finished article. He's not the finished article yet.
Also,
exactly.
Go on, Travis.
I think usually outfield players, especially that young outfield players and attacking players, they take time to adapt to the Premier League. Especially when they move at such a young age, it takes them time to adapt to no matter how good they are, it takes them time to actually play to their full capabilities.
But the fact that Erik ten Hag wants him is why I'm like, all right, I get it, I understand it. If we have to pay 50, 60 million, that's fine. If he really wants him, because I trust his decisions. Yeah. If he doesn't start working out, then we can have them conversations saying, well, was it worth paying that 50, 60 million pound? You don't really know, do you, until he comes? So let's see what happens with that. I'm going to talk about outgoings, and one outgoing in particular, Eric Bailly, going to make his decision on the next club soon. Very quickly on this. Price and what's his level, do you think, as a player? Like, where could he play now? I know he's got injury issues and stuff, but
Saudi.
How much do you think we can get for him? And Saudi, yeah.
Saudi, 4 or 5 million. I'll take that.
Same as Tellez, do you think, Shreyas?
I think push it up to 7 or 8.
Yeah.
That's, I think, the max. Because I don't think that he featured much out on loan. And once again, it will help us in taking some wages of the bill as well, so helps us in actually getting more players in, getting more better contracts in, and I think the max you can go for him is 10. Like the max you can go for him is
10. I just think I don't know what I was going to say then. My brain's just. I had a really good point I was going to make then. What was I just going to say? It'll come back to me. Yeah, sorry, sales. I don't know why that. I just had a proper brain cloud there. Sales, with Eric Bailly going, potentially, Alex Tellez, David Hayes' wages off the bill, Elanga, Dean Henderson going. Like, I'm actually buzzing. We've managed to sell players. That's the big thing. That's bigger than actually signing players, because we're always going to sign players.
Yeah, at least we are going to be able to raise around 40 million through sales. 40 million through sales.
Yeah, which is crazy for us, and obviously adds into the kind of transfer kit or whatever you call it for Rasmus Hojlund. So yeah, hopefully you move on with these deals and we start getting more players in. Amrabat's getting hotter and hotter as well. We'll see what happens with that. I'm excited to get him in. And then God knows what can happen towards the end of the window. You don't know what's going to go on with the takeover situation. So if that does happen, I'm not sure how it can affect it financially. I'm not even sure it can. But if we can do something towards the end of the window, if you brought in a Hojlund and then you bring in a Kane on top of that, cooking. Absolutely cooking.
Bit of breaking news. Ante Elanga set for his Nottingham Forest medical on Monday. So that's done deal. Yeah. Pretty much.
Happy days. Buzzing for him, to be fair. Lovely lad, trains really hard. And I think Forest is a good move for him, to be fair. So, yeah, people are moving on. They're flying the nest. Thank fuck, because the nest is getting overloaded, to be completely honest with you. Should we read out some comments and then we'll jump into the interactive stuff?
Yeah, let's have a gander. That's the Ericsson stuff. We already talked about that. Aaron, Ericsson be used against a low block, etc. Yeah, I 100% agree. Amy Rourke, I so badly want to see Prince Harry's twin and blonde Neanderthal cry. I don't know what that means.
Maybe it means Hojlund. I have no idea.
How much do you think we realistically sign Hojlund for? That's from Aaron.
6 million euros, I'd say.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a bit more. I think it'll be 60 plus, maybe 7 in add-ons, I think.
Rupees, euros, pounds,
euros. I don't rupees. What's that about? 400
million or something.
400,000 million. Like what is? Don't know what the rupees is.
I think 60 million euros. I think. Let's see.
Neil Driscoll, United to challenge the league. I don't think we can win another. Don't think we can win the league. Another trophy would be nice. FA Cup this time, absolutely. And he also says Marshall back up. That Joker is always injured. Yeah, unfortunately. And then Lewis Jackson is laughing at 60 million. Thank you for the positivity as always, Lewis. Appreciate it, mate. Yeah.
Lewis just likes mixing up the pile a little bit.
Lewis just likes he likes poking the bear, doesn't he? He just likes.
Yeah, it's like a kid with you got the bee's nest. And he's like, he's like, don't do it, and he's like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
He said when we would stop gambling big transfer fees on unproven players.
Oh, right. Can I just quickly address this? People moan when we sign strikers that are over 30 years old. Fucking, Igalo, Falcao, not Lukaku, Ronaldo, Cavani. Like, the list is endless. And then we pendulum swings the other way towards young strikers, and people aren't happy with that. So who do you want to sign?
But also,
do you know what I mean?
The fact is, whether we like it or not, there's United will always get charged more. We will.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter
100%.
who the negotiator is, who the owners are, or anything. If clubs see United coming, they're always like, we could stick another 10 mil on top of this because it's United, and that's what happens. It's always going to happen to us, and we're always going to have to pay that, and we've just got to accept it that we're going to pay extra because we're United, we're the biggest club on the world, and that's just the way it is, unfortunately. You'll guarantee you now, there's going to be a lot of teams when West Ham come in for players, they're going to stick an extra 5, stick an extra 10 on that because they know they've got 100 million in the bank. So that's just football negotiation.
But I think a difference about this deal would be if he doesn't work out, I think we will still be able to sell him on a profit because we aren't going to be giving him 250 or 275,000 per week. That's not the kind of
low
wage
wages
that we'll be offering him. Yeah,
for sure, 100%.
Lewis, every comment of mine gets a bite from Sam. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. I like
Got
it.
the rod out.
I like the back and forth, mate. It's all good.
Yeah,
it's all good.
Right, yeah. Let's jump into that interactive thing we got planned then. So, do you want to explain?
Yes. So we are gonna do a little bit. We need to make some jingles, man. I'll fucking love a jingle. Anyway.
Yeah.
We're gonna play a little bit of overrated, underrated. I am gonna give you a player, and you are gonna tell me if they're overrated or if they're underrated. The only rule I have is you can't just say they're rated. They're rated at the level that they are at. You have to say underrated or overrated. Even if they're a fantastic player and you think, every plaudit they've got, you have to say overrated or underrated.
And we haven't got a jingle, but I will play this for you.
Capybara, 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 capybara.
There you go.
We've got a fucking musician on the team. We need to get Adam making some jingles.
Yeah, a little acoustic Irish accent.
Put him to work on it. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, with Andrea Onana officially signing, Shah Sam's in the chat with a capybara. Yes, mate.
Yes, get your capybaras in. Love it.
With sorry, just sorting my chair out. With Andrea Onana being our brand new spanking goalkeeper, I thought we'd go through Manchester United goalkeepers. There you go. Aaron said every jingle would be a Coldplay song. That is very true. It would be.
Yeah.
It
was all yellow.
Yeah. So I've just lost my train of thought now.
Sorry. Trigger affair with a fucking soundboard.
So we're starting with goalkeepers, Manchester United goalkeepers from Peter Schmeichel all the way up to Andre Onana. I've not put in the second goalkeepers we had. I've not put in Kushak. I've not put in who was the guy? Sergio Romero. I've not put in Van der Gaal. I've not put those guys in. Just first.
Have you put fucking Tahibi in there?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
of course you have.
Yeah.
Fucking
he's like Phil Jones. He has to get a reference every fucking Anonymous Mango's in the chat. Shout out to Mango. Yes, lads. How are we? Any early team news? I've not seen anything. It'll
be strong tonight. Be very, very strong tonight.
Anyways,
first half is going to be practically a first starting 11.
Let's go. First one, Peter Schmeichel. Overrated or underrated?
Here is my answer to that.
I don't know, Jeff, has it? I must have missed
that. Is he underrated or overrated?
Yeah.
Do we not have a properly rated? We have to say one or the other.
No,
now?
you have to say one or the other.
Yeah. I can't say he's overrated.
Chat as well. Chat, get your things in. Overrated, underrated. Peter Schmeichel.
I don't know, Jeff. I would probably lean more towards overrated than underrated.
Overrated for Nick. Treyas?
Yeah.
I'll lean more towards underrated.
Underrated. Alright, chat, you're going to have to make the decision because they're split. Charlemagne is saying Peter throwing arm, he started counter-attacks. He did. He was one of the first goalkeepers to do that. He could chuck it from his box into the other box. One throw.
Play for City. Fucking nice.
Oh, the cartwheel. Yeah, the cartwheel was unfortunate. Everybody in the chat's going underrated. Dan Errington's going underrated. Lewis Jackson's going underrated. Shahsan underrated. Right, Peter Schmeichel is officially underrated.
Oh, knows.
Going underrated. Right, next one. Where are we? Let's get rid of Peter. Number 2, Mark Bosnich. This should be easy.
Oh, fucking hell. Is there an option for shit?
Overrated.
Because I'll take that. Yeah,
he's overrated.
Probably. I'd lean more to. Well, I don't know because I don't know if people overrate him or not. Like for his quality, I'm not sure. Probably overrated. Yeah, I imagine. Shreyas is thinking, who the fuck is that guy?
Exactly. But I haven't heard his name, so I would say overrated.
Yeah, Dan Errington is saying overrated. So chat.
When did he play? Was I even born there?
When were you born?
Bosnich.
Yeah.
When were you born?
2003.
Okay, now. Jesus.
Yeah, he might have been when you were about born. Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly.
So you only had 2 years without the Glazers in your life. That's crazy.
Yeah.
All you've known is Glazers, really.
Yeah.
So.
Lewis Jackson also did the Conor McGregor impression.
Who the fuck is that guy? Yeah.
Dan Rice saying Pete was underrated as Capybara. Fair enough.
Yes. Okay.
Shah Sam saying overrated. Dan Errington said same time as you were born. Bosnich. There you go. I think he came in 2002. So yeah, just before you were born. Sure.
He looks like he's doing. You know, when you hire someone for your kid's party, and that's what it looked like. They said, "Can you just throw on your United kit?" Because they all love the United goalkeeper.
Do you remember that period though after Schmeichel where we just had absolute shite?
We went through. It was like when you break up with your ex that you love, and then you just go through like fucking shitters basically until you get over him to get under him.
I'll just be back.
Yeah, no
worries. Bosnich.
Bosnich is overrated. Let's move on to the next one. Number 3. My favourite, Massimo Taibi.
Jesus Christ. Fucking... did anyone rate him at all? I don't know if anyone ever had a review on the goalkeeper in general, let alone... No.
He was fucking abysmal.
Yeah, he was dog shit.
I want to... Hold on. Let me have a look at his stats. I want to know what
anyone who ever commented on him is technically overrating him, so I would have to lean more towards overrated.
Dan Errington, is being sarcastic. He's saying absolute wonder of a keeper.
Fucking Taiba.
You lying bastard. So, hold on. Here we go.
I wonder if we get him on the channel.
Maybe. He had 4 appearances for United.
Yeah.
Massimo Taibi. Anybody want to guess how many goals he conceded in 4 games?
12.
Very close. 11.
Oh,
11 goals in 4 games.
Yeah.
And then he was fucked off very, very quickly.
Yeah. It's like, he's not the guy. He is not the guy. Get him out.
Yeah, so, Taibi, going overrated.
Have you seen Lewis's new name?
Operation Get Sam to Buy It. Nice.
Yeah, Taiba.
You see the thing, the number he put as well. 261,500.
Yeah, that's how many goals he can fucking conceded.
Yeah, overrated. Overrated for Massimo Taibi. Yes. Next one, Fabian Barthez.
Signed from Monaco. Yeah.
Did.
I think we paid like 7 million for him as well.
Also, precursor to the modern day goalkeeper. He liked to play with his feet quite a lot, Barthez.
Yeah, he did. He did. But then I think he just got remembered like purely for the weird shit that he did, like having a piss at the side of the net.
He was dancing as well. I remember him dancing on his goal line.
Is it? Yeah, probably overrated again. I'd probably throw overrated in there. I don't know. It's a weird one with Barthez. Because I thought, coming from France, he had that kind of modern-esque style, as you was touching on there. And we had that kind of nightmare with goalkeepers. We needed a solid one. I think it was overrated, to be honest.
Dan Errington saying overrated. Aaron Gregory saying overrated. Good keeper, but shit at United.
Yeah.
He had 92 appearances for Manchester United, conceded 88 goals,
Fucking hell.
and 34 clean sheets. So
Yeah, so 1 in 3 he kept a clean
Yeah.
sheet. But then again, it's a weird one with clean sheets because defence as well.
I think if he played modern day, I think he'd be a very excellent keeper. I think if he played today, he'd be an excellent keeper. I just think at the time, you couldn't be having goalkeepers playing with their feet and doing stupid shit like he was doing. Did he play in midfield one time, did as well? I'm sure we brought him on in midfield for one day.
He's certainly better than fucking Taibbi and the other one. I don't remember the other one that he put up, but he's overrated for me.
Neil Driscoll saying underrated. I tend to agree with Neil Driscoll. I think he was underrated, but we're in the minority. Shrez disappeared. Oh,
okay. He's back again.
Shreyas, underrated, overrated. Fabian Barthez. I don't think he heard the question, did he?
What?
Underrated or overrated? Barthez.
Overrated.
Right, yeah, cool.
Okay, we move.
The game we're playing, Shreyas, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Next one. Tim Howard. Overrated, underrated.
Unbelievable!
I don't know, you know. You should have had a separate category for these and just put fucking turd, like just a poo emoji. That's what should have been done. It's hard to say if they're underrated or overrated because no one rated him.
Do you know what? Do you know what? Because he was at United and Everton. He had 399 appearances in the Premier League. So quite well seasoned in the Premier League.
Yeah, he's a seasoned goalkeeper.
Also,
but was it?
He scored a goal.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
We had a couple of them. Schmeichel scored a couple as well, didn't he?
Goals conceded, 399 games, 427 goals conceded, 133 clean sheets. So not a bad
I think probably underrated, to be honest.
Shreyas.
I think on the basis of what he played at United, overrated. As a whole, if you have to evaluate career, maybe underrated.
I would go overrated because I think it just wasn't. He wasn't stunning. He wasn't awful.
Yeah.
So I can't say he's underrated, but so I'd have to go overrated. Like he would be the definition of rated. Like he was rated where he was thing. Neil Driscoll saying he was shit. Fair enough. Aaron saying, love Tim Howard was so good to say underrated. He had that unreal World Cup. He did for America. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right, Nick.
Just Neil's not having any of it.
He's just like, shit.
He was shit. Yeah.
Love it.
Love it.
I love the honesty. Yeah. Right, next one. We've got 3. It's a tough one.
It was the way you read it out as well. Like, it was a genuine answer. Like, Neil says he's shit. Yeah.
I'm trying to give everybody the moment in the sun. Right?
Yeah.
Right, this is a very different case. This is going to be difficult. Edwin van der Sar.
Okay. Oh, underrated. Underrated for me.
Underrated.
Top level keeper. Doesn't get spoken about nowhere near enough. Now we're talking. We're in like the prime levels now. Like we're talking like quality goalkeepers. Underrated, 100%.
Yeah.
Shreyas.
Underrated. 100%.
Champions League winner, multiple Premier League title winner. I'm sure he probably won a Golden Glove, I imagine.
He would have done. Yeah.
The first keeper who stepped into the shadow of Peter Schmeichel and probably... Would you say he exceeded it, or do you think Schmeichel...
I've always said I prefer Van der Sar to Peter Schmeichel, and I get people, but again, that might be more recency bias because I've experienced more Van der Sar than Schmeichel in that sense.
Yeah, I think he was massively underrated. He went so under the radar because nobody talked about how good he was, did they? Like everybody talks about how good Peter Schmeichel is. Like they always go, like he's amazing. So nobody talks about this guy. He just came in, did his job, and fucking won shit, and then left. We
signed him when he was like 35. Like if we signed a keeper now at 35 and he did as well as what Van der Sar did, everyone would be like, "Wow," you know what I mean?
Yeah. Aaron's got a good point there. Underrated. He ain't appreciated like Buffon and all of them. Exactly. Like,
100%.
if you talked about best goalkeepers in the world, people go Casillas, Buffon. Nobody will say this guy. Like, nobody will say him. So I think that makes him
quality
underrated.
keeper.
Jale is saying the king, absolutely, and I'm so glad as well that he's out of hospital and he's doing well again. So excellent fucking news. United, hire him as our finance director, football director, or whoever. Get him in as well.
Yeah,
I would love to see
why not?
Dan Overton, he was underrated, best keeper in a while. Absolutely, yeah. I think everybody's in agreement there. Next one, Shreyas, your boy, David De Gea. What are we saying?
Underrated.
Overrated, underrated.
Underrated.
This is so hard because it was seasons that he had where he was amazing, where he was underrated, and then there was seasons that have just gone where people still talk about the clean sheets and stuff. And because he made a couple of good shots, saves, it was like still had a great season. Where in actual fact, if you analyse the season and look at the mistakes he's made and his actual playing style,
Last season was not good at all.
no. In general, his career, is it overrated or underrated?
Just for United.
For United.
For United, I would say underrated because he was able to survive a lot of managers. He was able to be one of the players, I would say, who, not taking out last season, apart from that, if I judge it, I would say he was one of the best players that we had for quite some time, who was actually performing well, was genuinely one of the best goalkeepers in the league for quite some time as well. Had actually kept us in the, I would say, top half, I would say, in the Premier League in quite a lot of seasons as well. Under LVG, under Jose Mourinho as well. So for me, it will be underrated.
I'd say that the majority of his career he was underrated. Well, past couple of years it's a bit blurry.
I think he was underrated because, like Shrey said, he was our best player for many years. Technical one-on-one as a shot stopper, there was nobody better in the world. Like, name me one, there isn't one. Like, he was unreal with the stuff he was able to save. I just think the game has moved on. That's what I think it is.
Exactly.
I think the game has moved on. Every top team now has a goalkeeper that plays with the feet and can play out from the back, and the game's just moved on. Sometimes that happens to players. Like, I think certain players who were great a few years ago would not make it in today's systems.
Yeah.
Whereas players in today's systems, if you put back to like early 90s Premier League era, they'd be immediately washed out because they couldn't handle the sort of tackles and the bone breaking and all that sort of shit that went on. So
yeah, you've gone from like the 4-4-2, especially under us at times under Fergie, it was like very counter attack. And I know we're discussing counter attack in football before, but you've gone to more 4-3-3, possession based, a lot more pressing. Like the style was completely changed. So it'd be weird to put either way if you go back and put a player in that system or virtually the other way around. So
So in the Premier League, he 415 appearances and 148 clean sheets, 446 goals conceded. That's De Gea's stats, which I think is pretty decent for a goalkeeper.
Yeah, he's underrated. He is underrated for the majority of his career.
Aaron Gregory saying underrated, too much disrespect on his name. He was the best keeper in the world for a few seasons. People act like he was a bum. Dan Harrington, technically, is a one-on-one shot stopper, fantastic. Jale, this is a hard one. He's both underrated and overrated at the same time. That's not the game, Jale. You got to pick one.
No, but I do agree with you. To be honest.
Neil Driscoll, underrated. Shah Sam, underrated. Dan Harrington saying, anyone heard where he might be going? No, not heard.
Well, I was just about to say that. I'm fascinated to see where he ends up.
Yeah.
There's been no news on that so far, but I want to see where he goes. I hope he does well as well. I really do.
Yeah. And then Callum Huddleston, you've just given me a great segue for the last one. I'm so excited to see Onana play. Last one, Andre Onana.
Well, we'll never get tired of it.
I've got 2 questions. As a goalkeeper before he came to United, underrated, overrated, and then I'm going to ask you to predict for his time at United, is he going to be underrated or overrated?
So before he came to Manchester United, he was definitely underrated. Not a lot of people spoken about him, and even including myself, I didn't watch him free. I know Shrey has watched him because we've spoken about him numerous times. I didn't watch him a lot. I have to be honest. The Champions League final kind of brought him more to like visibility for me in terms of what he was about. But when you look back at his, when he was at Ajax and when he was at Inter Milan, I think even because he never moved for massive price, left on a free and then moved for 100k. So it weren't a standout signing that everyone was going on about. But he was still, under Ten Hag, he was fantastic. And at Inter Milan, kept the most clean sheets in the Champions League. Revolutionised that kind of modern... Well, he didn't do it. Neuer was more the sweeper keeper who did it in like 2014 World Cup. But in terms of... He was one of the best modern goalkeepers out there right now. So he's underrated at Inter Milan. And then in terms of his career for Manchester United, I think people might overrate him slightly just because we've had De Gea for so long.
Expectations are going to be...
Yeah, and you bring him in, everyone's going to think, oh, well, I think he might get overrated slightly after his career.
Before you say Shreyas, Dan Harrington with a really good point. As a one-on-one shot stopper, I don't think he'll be better than De Gea, but the fact that he's a real sweeper keeper is where we'll benefit. Absolutely. I think that's what'll happen. Aaron's saying, didn't he leave for a failed drug test? I don't think he failed a drug test. I think he took his wife's
hormone replacement
medication, which
like
meant it flagged his
he was suspended. He was suspended for a few months, and then his contract at Ajax came to an end. That's when Inter scooped him up.
Yeah, I believe that's what happened. But yeah, Shreyas, as his club career so far, underrated, and then at United, do you think he'll be left when he leaves to see his overrated or underrated?
I think up until now, he's definitely been underrated. Someone who's actually not been at the radar at all. And one of the things is when he came at Inter, I think there was a void left behind by Handanovic. Someone needed to come in and take that spot. He was able to fill that void perfectly. One of the biggest reasons why they were actually able to make it to the Champions League final was once again because of him. I think he genuinely is a player who will revolutionize the way we actually play. Like, the way we are saying that we desperately need a striker, I think the goalkeeper's position is something, that falls into the same category, that it will genuinely just completely way we actually start playing. And we might be looking into a team that is, like we saw that it needed Casemiro, it needed Lisandro, it needed Varane to be on the pitch at the same time for us to have like 60% or 70% possession. Now that Andre Onana is there, I think it takes a lot of pressure off that back five. So for me, he's definitely an underrated player. I definitely after signing, now that people have actually looked into him, they see what he's all about. He's good with his shot stopping. He's the really good sweeper keeper. Once again, there are going to be moments when people will be expecting him to just play. Just play a safer role at times, like not do what a sweeper keeper actually does, like just take the safer role for a while. But that is the thing that is going to come with the certain element of a sweeper keeper. They're going to make mistakes at certain points of time, but when they're good, they're just completely take the pressure out of the back four. And I think the way Ten Hag has got him in, and the kind of players that he's working alongside with, players like Lisandro, who he's worked with before, I think he'll be a very good signing for United. And I hope he's someone who can contest with Alisson and Ederson as well.
I think he will. I think the words. Sorry, just very quick. The words. I said it last night when Roy Keane says, "Show a bit of character. Show a bit of character." That is Onana. He's got a great personality for that.
Yeah, I like him. I like him a lot. Aaron saying, "Can't wait for the centre back edition. Phil Jones and Maguire are going to get pelters." Fucking hell, that is going to be. There's a lot of centre backs as well, so that's a lot to go through. It's going to be a long, long time. If you enjoyed that, by the way, let us know in the comments, let us know in the chat, and we'll do more of this shit. Happy to do it again. I think it's a very quick game and everybody can get involved, so appreciate you guys sticking around. If you want to see more stuff like this or exclusive breakdowns, tactical analysis, mostly by Nick, but sometimes the rest of us jump on it as well, you can join our membership. I'm putting a link in the chat now. Aaron is a member, Shah Sam's a member, who else is in the chat? Gray's a member, Amy is a member, who else?
Don't forget Brian Case.
Brian Case, who's missing at the minute. Absolutely.
Brandon,
Marky Mark, Prabav. Chivy's in the chat as well. He's also a member. He's laughing at your Roy Keane impression. He's laughing at Roy Keane.
Show a bit of character. Show a bit of character.
They're all members. They get to see all these videos and they get to see like exclusive news stories. You get your capybara emojis. You've got your Adam emoji, your Nick emoji. If we get more members, I can make more emojis. So keep like making it grow. And it's about £3-4 a month, so it's less than a meal deal, and it helps out the channel.
I've got an idea for the members. It's not I've not spoken to the lads even about it yet, so it's a very early idea. But I think it'd be beneficial for you guys. So we'll let you know about that probably towards the end of next week and see if we can. I think it's interesting, but just keep an eye out for that because I think it'd be very beneficial.
Yeah. Go follow us on all the socials, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all the good stuff on there, news graphics, team lineups, latest transfer stuff, all that good stuff. Go follow us on there. We appreciate all of you. Nick, do you want to send them home?
Yeah. Also, I just want to very, very quickly as well. I did a Kobe Mainu kind of analytical video and put it out on TikTok. It's done really, really, really well. Like 75,000 people have watched it. If you haven't seen that, please do go check it out. Let us know what you think of that kind of content or just the content in general on TikTok. And like Twitter as well for regular news updates, especially with these transfers and takeover and new season starting. Make sure you turn on the notification bells for all of them so you get your constant regular news fix. I want to send you some of the capybara thing, but I want to just read out a quote from, well, not a quote, but it was someone commented on one of the videos on TikTok, and I thought it was very fitting, and it was in regards to the Glazers. And this is from, so shout out Barmy Army, and he described the Glazers as, he said, they are billionaires who would kill each other for a penny on the floor. And I thought that was very fitting. So
Very true. Very true.
Yeah, very, very true. And enjoy your weekend, guys. If anyone's going to watch Oppenheimer tonight, also enjoy that. Me and Sam will be watching.
Yep.
United are on tonight. Depending on what time I get back, I might do a watch along for it, but we'll let you know on socials and stuff anyway. But enjoy the weekend. Leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And you know the script.
Put capybaras in the chat. Put them in the chat now, and then Nick is going to... if you're a member, that is, because I know certain people aren't members, so they don't have access to that. But if you want access to it, you can.
Yes.
Oh, Prabrav is here. Bloody hell, Prabrav. Show at the last minute. Jesus Christ,
mate. We're going on about the notifications, right? So for people, if the notifications start working on YouTube, get it on Instagram and Twitter, because we always put it on socials when we're going live. So if you turn the notifications on that, it'll always let you know, and you can just jump straight into the chat then. Yeah.
Or if you're about, just DM us on Instagram and we'll tell you. We'll let you know. We'll say, there's a show today. It's at this time. So we're always happy to let you know. So
right, we'll play you guys off, and like I said, have a lovely weekend. To the bit. Capybara.
We need a longer version of that.